Error 404. Reality not found. What if the world around you is just code? And what if that code starts to break?
You know that feeling, right? That little flicker of déjà vu or a coincidence that seems just a little too perfect. But that's not what we're talking about today. No, what we're diving into is something else entirely, something way more unsettling. We're talking about eyewitness accounts of moments when the world itself just stops making sense.
Look, we all operate under a basic set of assumptions about the universe. It's like our reality has an operating system, right? Gravity works, time moves forward, objects don't just pop into existence out of thin air. But what if that operating system is buggy? Right now, thousands of people are sharing stories online that pretty much sound like crash reports for existence itself.
And let's be super clear about what we mean here, because this is key. A true glitch, as the community calls it, isn't a feeling. It's not a dream, it's an eyewitness event, something you see with your own two eyes that flat out defies any rational explanation. A physical break in the rules of the game.
And that's the absolute crucial difference. Déjà vu is internal. That's just your brain doing something funky. A matrix glitch is external. It's not you feeling strange, it's the world being strange. It's the difference between thinking, I feel like this has happened before, and actually watching an object materialize out of nothing.
So let's get into the evidence, and I want you to think of these not as just spooky campfire stories, but as data points. Seriously, anomalies in the system that demand some kind of explanation. We're going to break it down and look at 3 specific types that keep popping up: the object glitch, the NPC glitch, and the time glitch.
Let's start with an object glitch, and I want you to put yourself in this person's shoes. Imagine it's 4:30 in the morning, it's dark, the highway is completely empty, and you're driving up behind a semi-truck. But something is just wrong.
So the driver, user mentally recovering, was absolutely certain the truck had no trailer. They could literally see the red lights of the hitch itself against the darkness. But as they pull alongside to pass it, poof, a massive white trailer is suddenly attached. It's just there. Confused, obviously, they keep driving. A few miles later, the same truck passes them, and as it does, the trailer vanishes again, leaving just the cab and those hitch lights. The driver insists they were wide awake. So how does a 50-foot trailer just render in and out of existence?
But objects blinking in and out of reality is one thing. What about when it's people? This next one is what gamers would immediately recognize as an NPC glitch, where a person acts like a non-player character in a video game whose programming is just broken. Okay, so a person on a bus notices an older woman in a very distinct outfit. Purple velvet dress, big yellow hat. Unforgettable. When they get to the terminal, the rider gets off the bus first, and they can see the woman is still on board, moving slowly up the aisle. The rider walks for just 30 seconds to a nearby ATM and sees the exact same woman walking out of the washroom right next to it. It was physically impossible. There's no way she could have gotten off the bus, into the terminal, and to that spot so quickly. It's like she respawned at the next checkpoint.
But maybe the most disorienting glitches, the ones that really shake you to your core, are the ones that break the one thing we thought was constant: time itself.
A driver starts a familiar 2-hour trip home at 10 p.m. 30 minutes in, at exactly 10:30, they see a blinding light in the rearview mirror. The very next thing they know, they're pulling up to their house in Denver. They check the clock. It's still 10:30 p.m. A 2-hour drive was somehow completed in 30 minutes with no memory of the trip. And here's the clincher, the hard evidence, the gas tank. It should have been nearly empty after driving 120 miles, but it was still full. That is physical proof of a temporal impossibility.
So, if we accept these stories as genuine, what could possibly explain them? We have to move from the what happened to the absolutely terrifying why. Why does reality seem to be breaking apart at the seams?
Well, there are pretty much 3 main theories, and each one is stranger than the last. First, the skeptic's view. It's a brain malfunction. It's all in our heads. We misremember. We hallucinate. The glitch is in us. Second, the big one, simulation theory, that our reality is a program, and these glitches are bugs in the code, rendering errors, lag, a system update. And the third theory, from the world of physics, is that our universe is just one of many, and sometimes, for a split second, we clip through the wall into another one running right alongside our own.
You know, this fear that our perceived reality isn't the real one, it isn't new. This is one of the oldest ideas in Western philosophy, first dreamed up over 2,000 years ago.
The Greek philosopher Plato described these prisoners chained in a cave, forced to face a wall their whole lives. Behind them, a fire casts shadows of objects onto that wall. And for the prisoners, these flickering shadows aren't just shadows, they are reality. It's all they've ever known. And this is the terrifying parallel. We believe our world of cars and trees and physics is real. But what if it's just a projection, a shadow on the wall of a much deeper reality? And what if these glitches, a trailer that vanishes, a woman who teleports, what if they aren't errors in our world, but the first brief, horrifying glimpse of the real world that's casting our own?
And this isn't just ancient speculation anymore. The philosopher Nick Bostrom turned this into a rigorous, logical argument that forces us into a very uncomfortable corner. It's called the simulation trilemma.
Bostrom argues that one of these three things absolutely must be true. Number one, we're doomed. Humanity and any species like us almost always destroys itself before it can create these universe-simulating computers. Number two, they get there, but they're not interested. Advanced civilizations just don't run simulations of their ancestors. Or three, they do run them, and they run billions of them. And if that's the case, then simple probability dictates that we are almost certainly one of the simulated minds, not one of the original biological ones.
So, without knowing which one is true, it's logically sensible to assume each of these profound possibilities is about equally likely. Which means there's a 1 in 3 chance we're heading for extinction, a 1 in 3 chance our advanced descendants will be totally uninterested in us, or a 1 in 3 chance we're inside a computer program right now. Yeah, none of those are very comforting.
So let's just go there for a second. Let's follow this logic to its conclusion. Let's assume the glitches are real, and that they're evidence for option number 3. What does that actually mean for us, right now?
Think about it. If this world is just a program, then what are our choices? Are your hopes, your dreams, your deepest loves, are they all just lines of code being executed by a system far beyond our comprehension?
And what about that feeling you have of making a decision, that sense of agency you believe you have? Could it just be a clever feature designed to make the simulation more convincing? A user experience trick for a mind that doesn't truly have any control at all?
But here is the most chilling thought of all. What if those moments of confusion and terror, when reality breaks down, aren't madness? What if they are the opposite? What if a glitch is the one moment the simulation stutters, and for a terrifying split second, we are actually awake?
So, the next time you lose your keys only to find them in a place you know you searched 5 times, or you see something impossible out of the corner of your eye, ask yourself, was it just a trick of your mind, a simple mistake, or did you just catch a glimpse of the code that's running us all?